You're watching the latest Baseball Prospect Journal draft conversation. Here's your host, Dan Zielinski.
Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of the Baseball Prospect Journal draft conversation. I'm Dan Zielinski of the Baseball Prospect Journal, and today joining me is prep catcher Carter Jensen from Kansas City, Missouri. Carter, good to always talk with you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for jumping on and doing this. I guess first, before we kind of get started and I start firing off some questions to you, can you just introduce the viewers to who Carter Jensen is? Who are you as a baseball player, and kind of what makes you successful on the field?
All right. Well, my name is Carter Jensen, and I'm a catcher. The type of player I am. I'm a big hitter. I'm a middle of the order lineup guy. I'm always going to do what I can to win. I'm going to do what I can in my position to kind of help the team win. And I'm always going to put forth my best effort and play with 110%. So that's what you'll get out of me. I like to hit for power, but I like to try to show off the little bit of speed I have sometimes. So I like to mix it up a little bit, but extra base hits, something I do a lot and I love doing. So, and behind the plate, I'm somebody who can control the game, work with my pitchers well, and control the base paths.
Thank you for doing that. I always appreciate when guys do that. I think there's more value into having the player actually tell viewers about themselves and me rattling off a bunch of information. But I did see you play at the Super 60 event in February, and I thought you looked really good there. Obviously, like you said, offensive-minded guy, but I thought defensively skills were really good. Arm strength was great. Throughout your senior season, how do you feel like you developed, especially on the defensive side of the baseball?
I think just with getting more reps, I kind of progressed as a catcher. That's going to happen for every position, but especially catchers, just kind of the more reps you get, the better you're going to get. Catching more guys and kind of it helps with your receiving a lot. You get to see all types of different pitch movements. So throughout my high school season, just kind of getting all those reps behind the plate, it really helped me and kind of helped me develop into a better catcher. So.
How else do you feel like your senior season went? Obviously, last year, either you didn't have a season or it was cut short because of the pandemic. So what was it like just being out there with the guys and playing one last year of high school baseball?
Oh, it was awesome. The group of guys in my high school, we're all really close. We had a lot of seniors this year. So, it's all the guys that I grew up with. It's always really fun playing with them just because it's a really loose environment all the time. We never really get too tense, and we have a lot of fun. So it was awesome to kind of get that last season. And personally, this season, I think it went really well. I got walked a lot. I think I finished about 35 walks, so I think 15 to 20 in between there of them being intentional. So it was kind of it got a little frustrating sometimes just because I really wanted to hit, but I took it as a sign of respect from the other coaches and the other players just because they didn't want to push me. But it was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of success this year. So it was definitely worth this year.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, you're an advanced player offensively, but what is that like for you? Just plate discipline wise, making sure you didn't expand the strike zone and just taking the walks as they come instead of trying to make something happen that maybe wasn't there.
Basically, it does take a lot of discipline at the plate, especially when people are kind of throwing around you, trying to paint the corners, kind of steal a pitch. So, this year and last year in the summer circuit, my play discipline definitely improved a lot just because I was seeing pitches better and kind of working myself into better counts, kind of not swinging at the bad pitches, and then trying to find a pitch I like early. Just because, I never know when I'm going to get another pitch I like. So, I developed a swing early in the count kind of approach, but, I was able to get out of those deep situations. Like when I'm in a 3-2 count, I'm fouling balls off and I'm able to poke one through the hole. So, definitely this year, my play discipline improved.
What was it like to, obviously you've experienced some draft attention leading up to this year, but the draft attention always, there's a lot more your senior year compared to junior year when you're going through the summer showcase circuit. What was that like, trying to deal with the draft attention while also focusing on your high school season and just simply your development?
So basically, like when all the scouts are there, I kind of like to shut out all the draft attention, all that stuff, and I kind of just tried to focus on the game, focus on the task at hand. Because I mean, if I play loose, if I play like how I'm supposed to, then everything else will come when it comes to draft wise. So I just kind of had that mentality going into the season to kind of not pay too much attention to it and just kind of play my game and play relaxed, and everything else would come after it.
Your high school season's been over for a little bit now. Is there something you've been working on or kind of refining in your game since the season ended to this point now?
So I mean, swing wise, I'm always working on my swing. I'm always critiquing little things in the cage and stuff. So I've been hitting a lot. And then I've also been catching a lot also, whether it's catching some of my buddies, bullpens or whatever, just catching behind a machine. Kind of working on all sorts of different ways to get better behind the plate also, whether it's receiving, blocking, throwing, footwork, or any of that. I've been working on it all just to kind of keep climbing the ladder and keep getting better leading up towards the draft.
For sure. And besides the draft, you're obviously an LSU commit. Obviously some big news within the last month or so out of LSU with legendary coach Paul Maneri retiring. What was your reaction to the announcement? Kind of how do you view that currently right now?
I was pretty shocked when I heard it. I mean, if I'm being honest, but I mean, it is what it is. He had a really good career there. I mean, he's one of the best coaches to ever do it, and it's just nothing but respect for him. And if he feels like he didn't want to coach anymore, then that's what it is. So, but I mean, I trust LSU with who they hire next. I know they're not going to go and hire whoever. They're going to go after the right guy and the right guy for the program. So I'm excited to see who it is.
I want to say when we last talked, you mentioned that you have some family down in Louisiana and you kind of grew up an LSU fan. I guess throughout the recruiting process, why did you feel like LSU was the right fit for you?
So yeah, I do have family down in New Orleans, which is about an hour away from Baton Rouge, where LSU is. So, I mean, growing up and visiting down there, I mean, it was always awesome. It's one of my favorite trips to go on, is down there to New Orleans or wherever. So just the environment down there, and then after watching them play, I mean, it's just a surreal experience, and personally, I think there's nothing else like it. So I mean, when I heard LSU was interested, I mean, I kind of jumped at it, and I was really excited. And when they offered me, I wanted to commit literally on the phone right when they offered me, but told my parents, and they said sleep it over just for a day and make sure it's what you want to do. And woke up the next day, called them right away, and committed. So I mean, it's definitely been my dream school for a very long time, and I'm super blessed to be able to be going there this next year.
When I asked you about the draft, you obviously said how you were relaxed throughout the process and didn't pay attention to it a whole lot, especially at least when you were playing games. Did it make it easier to have that mindset knowing you had LSU, or you do have LSU in your back pocket?
Oh, by far, yeah. Because I mean, whatever in the situation I'm in, it's a win-win situation if I go to the draft or to LSU. So, I mean, if I went out and had a bad season and the draft didn't work out this year, then I would have been perfectly fine going to LSU. So I'm perfectly fine either way. I'm 100% happy either way. So.
Has it set in yet that the draft is a couple weeks away now?
Yeah, it's set in a little bit. I mean, I know it's not gonna fully set in until probably the week of and leading up to it, and it gets really hectic. So, I mean, I'm excited for it, and me and my parents are also my parents are also excited for it because I mean, it's not just me who's worked for it; they've worked for it too. So.
Awesome. Well, Carter, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you taking time to do another interview with me, and good luck throughout the draft process and that decision you'll have to make soon. And like I said, good luck, and hopefully we can talk again in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me.